The event that I went to with you, that I got invited to here in Atlanta, networking event, I remember when I came in, I didn't know who was who, what was what, right?
Right.
And I saw you, but I didn't know you were you. And you were just peeping the scene, moving around, and then you getting chairs. Like, you were just moving. I saw you moving around, but I didn't see you talking. And then I asked you, I said, hey, man, people going to introduce each other? What's going to happen? He's like, no. We're going to do this, that, and this, and that. And then the energy is going to be right for the thing. Then you pimped off. And I was like, okay. So then, because my mind, a lot of times when I go to spaces, I'm always, like you said at the beginning, I'm trying to make it good for everybody.
Yeah.
And I saw everybody like in their phones, and I wanted to talk to them, but then I was like, I talked to this one guy, but I didn't understand what was happening.
Right.
So I had to be a student at the moment. I'm like, this his stuff. They're like, Jason, just chill out. And so when I watched it, I had never seen a read before, you know. So I saw that, and everything you said was true. Because after that, you said, who was this, who was that? You did the roll call. And then people were able to have it, and we stayed and talked later on. That's how we got to this point. So you did it. You architected. So what's your end goal with that wonderful experience that you do? How long have you been doing it, first off, and what's the end goal?
Yeah, so for full context, what he's referring to is the
I didn't even tell y'all. I didn't even tell y'all. Like y'all was there.
Yeah, so we started a collective called the Coalition of Artists. Myself, Gary Jordan again, I produce film and TV. My partner Joe Lockett here, he's producing film and TV amongst other things, of course. I got a partner named Ralph Cooper Jr., who's a
I met him too.
Yep, talent agent, writer, producer, director, 2-time Emmy winner. And then we got my partner Shag Owens, who music producer, videographer, director, writer, producer, the whole nine. So we started it together because, again, being that I'm from here, worked in music, I understand the networking landscape.
Yes.
How key it is. It's very key. So, and I was telling you, it's like, hey, I'm used to doing 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, networking events or showcases a week for music. You know what I'm saying? R&B showcases, rap battles, producer showcases, producer battles, etc., open mics, whatever, right? So now that I'm in film and TV, I want to bring that same format over here to where we're networking intentionally, but also there's a showcase of some sort. So, what happens every week is we network, we meet and network, but someone is going to showcase their work, whether it be a script that you wrote, whether it be a pilot series that you shot, or a short film that you shot. We want to make sure that you get an opportunity to A, get some eyeballs on it, B, get some people listening to your situation, and C, like, you get some feedback, warm, constructive input and dialogue.
In a safe space.
In a safe space, exactly. Which in turn inspires people, because being creative can be singular and lonely, from an existence and, kind of situation. Like, so just from my own personal experience, like, I wanted to be in the room with people who are trying to do what I'm trying to do. And not only that, with regards to intentionality, if you create a space to where everybody is in the room that you need, whether it be writers, producers, directors, actors, money guys, or money girls, you feel me? Like, we got everything we need in the room, we can essentially bring out our own projects.
And are you guys tracking? I told you before, I know I was talking to you. Are you guys tracking the success and testimonials of this space? Meaning, like, let's say if people come to it and they make connection, and then a month later, like, oh, we shot something together, here it is. Are you tracking that, or you just wanted to just be loose?
No, we're not intentionally tracking it, but I do hear about it all the time. Like, moving around, like, you hear all the time. Like, I'll see people together that I for sure met at Coalition of Artists on Wednesdays. Like, for instance, when the Atlanta Film Festival popped off, was a few weeks ago. I was seeing photographs, like, for the launch night, launching the 2024 film festival. I'm seeing people there supporting each other that
was in this space together.
Like, exactly. And they're tagging us in the photos, like, hey, COA peeps, Like, doing those things for us. So it's like we have we're aware. And of course, when people come to the event, I'm like, how'd you find out about us? Oh, I was at another event, and this person that was there told me to come here. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's like 30 or 40% of the people that come in, either someone told them to follow the page on Instagram where they're getting like invites, or they were out somewhere and networking and they were told to come here, because we try to keep it real simple. Like, come in, it's open, it's every week, so that way it's not like, oh shit, I missed.
You forgot, week. Yeah.
It's like, oh no, we'll be here next week. Oh, and I can't make it. We'll be here.
And
next
I think that, like I told you before, if I had known about my equipment, because I at my church I do this type of stuff where when people come out, I be like, what'd you think about it? How was it? Who'd you meet? What'd you do?
Right.
Because once you have a collection of that, it speaks for itself. Because then people are saying, because with me, I'm gonna be like, because when I sat there and they did the table reading, I saw all these people on their phones. I was like, man, everybody on their phones. He was like, they reading scripts. I was like, all of these people reading scripts? And he was like, yeah. I said, oh, or whatever, right? So then it was like, the one dude was sitting there, he stood up, and I guess he was the narrator. They're like, Johnny. I'm okay. So I'm watching it. Okay. Oh, all right. So I'm in it, and I'm like, this is cool. I didn't know how long it was gonna be, but I'm taking it. Then dude stopped and was like, all right, what y'all think about it? And then people giving insightful stuff. It wasn't like it was good. It was like, no, the development of the person. I'm like, man,
because it's a workshop.
Yeah, and I'm like sitting. And I said, this is a really cool experience. Yeah. And I said, since I have a nonprofit in Chicago, I work with students to have them figure out, I would love to do something like that in my city. And I know people, but I have never been exposed to it. And I feel like when you see something like this, if you came to Chicago, bro, I would love for you to do that if you know people. And I can invite some of my theater students and some of my creatives to just experience that.
But that's the thing, like all right, so the students need growth support.
Absolutely.
Anybody who wants to get into writing needs that support. So the main thing is, after you've produced a piece of work, you're not even sure if it's good. You're not sure if the punchlines are going to land. You're not sure if people are going to laugh when they're supposed to. You're not sure if people are going to understand like the growth of the character, so on and so forth. It's a workshop. You know what I'm saying? So we set it up intentionally because that's one of Ralph's main things. Being from Atlanta, I'm like, networking is key.
Absolutely.
Being from LA and being in film and television professionally, it's like, workshopping is key. Training and education is key. And then giving people an opportunity in a space to
it's real time. It was like it was so real time, and you had such a mix of people in the room.
Indeed.
And then the actors were actors, like inflection.
Yeah.
And do you do anything? Because I met a young lady that was here. I invited her to it after the fact. I was like, you should come to this. There are students around here that are in school for film and TV and production. Are y'all bridging the things with that, or?
As best we can. With regard to what we're doing right now, we just have to focus on being consistent with what we're doing, so that way we're easy to find and easy for people to refer.
Yeah.
Us too is like, you're gonna find them on Wednesdays unless it's a holiday or something, like you know what I'm saying. They're gonna be there, so like you have to establish that good continuity, brand continuity, and the second thing is we have to make sure it's quality. You know what I'm saying? Like
quality
we have to make
is everything.
sure. Yeah, we have to make sure that we're doing it right, and if we're doing it right, then the people will share for us. They'll bridge the gap for us. We just have to make sure the island is popping. And then as people come to the island, they'll be like, you know what, we're tired of boating in. We're tired of flying in. We should build a bridge. And I'm like, yes, we should build a bridge. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody is living on their own little islands. Like there's campus life, there's corporate life, there's studios here, there, everywhere. Like, so the main thing is
just
like,
be this.
Building a bridge to all the different islands is like, ultimately that's what we want to do, because we all know Hollywood is moving here. You know what I'm saying? This is Hollywood East, or Black Hollywood as some people call it. So the main thing is, once they're fully like here and immersed, by they I mean Hollywood West, we want to at least create a spot where a platform to where they got to at least check in with us.
So here's my question. Check in. That's the streets, boy.
Indeed. Yeah.
So here's my question for you. I got two more. One question is, what is your promise? What are your deliverables? And what I mean by that is, I was talking to somebody about we were talking about Christian Mingle, the app, and I was like, we looked at it online, like what they promise. It was like the largest database of Christianness, the most. It was like bullet pointed. Like if you go on this app, you will get these things. And I was like, I know you have in your mind what you think it is, but when you see it. So with this, the coalition, what are your promised deliverables? Because you said quality, and I agree it was quality when I went. But if you had to articulate, what are your deliverables by attending this event? What are you promising people?
Safety and support.
Safety.
To start.
Come on.
To start. You know what I'm saying?
Sign me up.
Yeah, because
that's needed.
Yeah, because again, as an artist, you don't really feel safe because you don't know if what you're doing is good, because the people that do know may not tell you, and the people that don't know, what do they know about whether or not what you're working on is good? Like unless you're creative, you may not know what's good until you see it.
That's dope, man.
Until it's the finished product. So those are our directives, like, for now to start.
I like that.
But
yeah,
where we would like to end up is as a, essentially our own boutique studio. So if we can secure financing, like I said, that's part of the plan. You know what I'm saying?
That's down the line.
Yeah. So
like phase 3 or something.
Yeah. So if we can fund some projects, community equity. If we can provide distribution, that's more community equity.
Yeah. But start with this, get that, then here, and then sharing that. I mean, because then if people are committed along the way, they could be shareholders and they'll be invested in it.
Indeed.
So my last question for you: what's the greatest mistake you ever made that you learned the most from? I think I stumped him. I stumped him. I got him.
It's like mistakes, because people tell you they're, God don't make no mistakes, so on and so forth. But I'm assuming you want a real answer. I would say me personally.
That you learned from. That's the thing.
So the main mistake that I learned from, once I realized that I was making that mistake, was I wasn't paying attention to myself. I wasn't taking care of myself. I wasn't giving myself opportunities. I wasn't being my own best friend. You know what I'm saying? So self-care, that's the main thing. I wasn't giving myself permission to grow. I wasn't giving myself permission to step into new spaces. And on top of that, like, I did not have a support plan for myself.
Did you have a mentor?
No, like I said, I got people that introduce me to ideas,
but not on that side.
But not no one says, like, all right, this is what you're doing. Let me help you run this through. Let me, boom, boom, boom. Let me put you here and make, help you make things happen. Like, nah, I've been put in situations and it's like, you're here. Peace.
Yeah,
you're welcome. You know what I'm saying? So,
and I think with that, with my organization, it's called 3C's Mentoring Group, and my view on mentoring is different than a lot of people. I've had people told me they said, I'm your mentor to me, and I'd be like, I ain't never been to your house, and they'd be like, no, I'm not being mean, like, we're cool, but it's not at that level.
You can't just prop yourself up as a mentor because you feel like it.
Yeah, you've been helpful, but when it's levels, and then when you look at breaking bread with people,
it's equity. You have to provide an equitable situation for someone.
Yes.
Give them something that they couldn't do for themselves.
And then I told the other young lady yesterday that, because people were saying they don't have mentors, and I mentor a lot of people, right? They have access to me. It's not a formal structure, but they can come by the crib, I can go by their crib. And I said, what are you looking for in a mentor? She said, somebody to pour into me. I said, okay, cool, I got it, right? And I said, what are you going to do for them? And they was like,
value proposition.
They had to think about it. But I said, you know what? I'm not faulting you because that's not talked about. So in mentoring dynamics, you do something for me, I do something for you, but it's not in a transactional way. It has to be like, I care about you as a person, you care about me as a person. So if you saying self-care, and I'm like, okay, my self-care thing is I ride bikes and I skate. So I said, if I come to Atlanta, bro, I want you, we can go skating, then go chop it up. We ain't nothing to that. You know what I'm saying? Right. Well, if you say, Jason, I do self-care, I'm going to come do some walks of this thing, come through, slide. I'm there. We're not asking for anything, we're building. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And then as stuff comes up that I find that's important to you, as you share it, I'm there for you. I have this Jason's thing, can you, okay, cool. Hey, come this. And then it's not to the point where, because when I see it try to happen now, it's like a budding plant. It never gets to do it because the minute somebody drop a ball, they cut him off. He ain't come to my thing. He blew me off. He a human.
I tell people all the time, like, bro, we don't do emotional blackmail. Like, you know what I'm saying? It's not our job to make sure you're here in my face every week at our event and so on and so forth. Like, I'm assuming you're booked and busy, which is great.
And it's okay.
If I can help you get booked, it's more than okay. Like, that's what we want. Like as a mentor, you should want people that you pour into to go off into the world and do something with it. You know what I'm saying?
Making the connect. It's a book that I recommend, and if I come back, I am gonna come back. I'm gonna come back to it when I'm back in town. It's a book called Making Your Contacts Count.
Indeed.
And that
extracting the value, as Joseph always says.
That book, man, I want the world to read. I got a workshop I did about it, and what the book is, the workshop I do, I'm kind of go through it quickly. It says name 10 people, right? Random, pick people that you just met, long time, whatever, 10, and then you go through the book and it classifies people. You got accidents, affiliates, associates, advocates, allies, whatever. Now, after you go through each one, you have to assign a role to a person. And it tells you how to work people up the list. And you have to know where you are with people, because at the end of it, you want everybody to be your ally.
Right.
And with the ally, it's a mutually beneficial thing, and they know what your end goal is. They can sell you and you can sell them.
Indeed.
But that's rare. But if you're not thinking that frame of reference, you're not vulnerable enough to even get, you're not even having those conversations. So when I do it, folks be like, I ain't got no allies. You know why they don't have it? Because they don't share. They talk about surface stuff, but if I bring your mans in here who you hang with every day and I say, what relationship do he need right now to help him with his dream? So when you have books like that and you're talking about it, it kind of goes in line with the coalition. Like, I want to be an ally for you. I want to be beneficial. So let's build for real.
Indeed. And to add on to that, with regards to allyship, one of the things that I had to learn was how to be my own ally. Yeah,
you did say that. Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, I have to know what I want out of every situation. I have to figure that out before. Like I said, I spent a long time trying to figure out what I wanted. I knew I wanted, this overall arching situation, but I didn't know what I wanted out of life. I didn't know what I wanted to bring to the table. I didn't know what my value proposition is.
How did you find that?
Trying different things. And when I finally started trying things that I wanted to do, as opposed to, because there's a difference between opportunities and the right opportunities. Because I spent a lot of time just doing things that were opportune at the moment. But again, if you don't have an overall arching idea for your life, you can't pick out opportunities that get you exactly what you want out of a situation, which again will burn you out. Because if I just, Joseph, you're doing that, I'm gonna be growth support.
Just
I'm
running.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm being everybody else's ally as opposed to my own. So I eventually had to learn what I wanted out of every situation, and on top of that, I had to get my value proposition together. Because if you're gonna show up and ask people for things, like you said, what are you doing for this person? Even if it's not transactional, just on a respect level,
yes,
you have to realize that a value proposition is necessary with regards to your mentor, because a mentor is a person that has their own life professionally. They have social life,
family,
they have a personal life. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So anytime that they take out to help, quote unquote, pour into you, you know what I'm saying. It's you have to help them do that. Help me help you.
Yeah,
you see what I'm saying?
And at any level,
they can't figure out your life for you and figure out once I give you this, this is how we utilize the sauce that I just gave you. Nah, you know what I'm saying?
So, are you a Christian person?
Yeah.
How important do you feel like God was in your journey?
Very. The main thing is that's where the inspiration comes from. Inspiration is a gift. Opportunities are a gift.
So you recognizing the gifts in these things.
Indeed. And it's do this, don't do that, be here, don't be here. You know what I'm saying? God is a guide. You know what I'm saying? Every opportunity that we have comes from the Creator. The only thing is, can you hear what the Creator's talking to you? Can you see what's being laid out in front of you? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's the spiritual part with discernment. And the other part I was hearing you say, the value part, I'm thinking of purpose and assignment.
Indeed.
Because if you have an assignment on your life, on my Instagram, my thing says I help people figure out why they're on earth. That's my tagline.
Indeed.
So if you can know why you're here, what you're supposed to be doing, then all the relationships and opportunities are supposed to connect to get you to do that thing.
Indeed.
And that's a level of self-awareness, self-care, God is seeing. Yes. You're just listening to everything, being a student to what's happening to you.
And that awareness was lacking at first because, again, I was just putting myself in positions to just help other people and develop other people. Because, again, that's what I came in the game doing.
Yeah.
Artist development. artist management. So I could seek talent out. That person's talented. I know how I can help you get to where your talent needs to be, so on and so forth. But I was not doing the same for myself. I did not look at myself as a creative person that needed that same type of support. So eventually I decided to start creating the same opportunities for myself that I was so adamant about creating for other people.
So out of all the things you've done, what are the 2 things you're the most proud of? I'm talking about in your whole career. These are 2 moments that you want in your life story.
I mean, it's still happening, to be honest. Like, every week when someone hears their work for the first time resonate with a group of people, that's awesome. Like, the first time, like, someone cried. I remember last summer, someone cried. You know what I'm saying? Someone cried when they were presenting their work. And then a lot of people, they come on Wednesdays, and obviously church is a weekly situation. So people refer to COA Wednesdays as church sometimes. And, because they get that spiritual fulfillment. Like, creativity is a spiritual experience, in my opinion. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of other people's opinion as well. So the people that value that opinion or see the world in that way, we're all together. And we're all helping each other. And we're all pouring into each other. So the thing that I'm most proud of is still happening. I haven't funded anyone's project yet. I haven't gotten anyone on TV yet. But we're moving. Like, we got a bunch of people writing in each other's projects, shooting each other's projects, editing, acting in each other's projects. Like, people are like, oh, I'm a producer on this person. Like, Ralph has picked a bunch of people that he's decided to move into and move forward with regards to, oh, I'm gonna help you pitch this project. Like, Joe has found a couple of people like, oh, I'm gonna be an executive producer of this person's project. Like, and so that's an opportunity for him, and it's an opportunity for the person that he chooses to work with. I'm proud of that.
When I hear you talk, I think of your proudest moment. You should get an all-black shirt with white writing that says, "I started."
That's it.
Because it's not there yet. Of course,
starting is hard.
I started, and somebody said, "What does that mean?" And it opens the door, because there's so many people that are paralyzed from moving. They don't have all of the ducks in a row, so they don't even do it.
Paralysis through analysis is, I've heard, like, Will Smith say it. Quincy Jones told him that, like, paralysis through analysis.
He was like, just do it, go.
Do it.
Yeah.
The opportunity's here, step into it. Give yourself permission to step into it, as opposed to thinking that you need to line up all the ducks. I mean, because at the end of the day, once you get moving, everything, like, lines up.
It will. Yeah. Or it will, or it won't.
Or it won't. And if it does not, then you just have to keep trying.
If you want to.
Yeah.
Because I can tell you, I say, man, don't even be definite with stuff, because I think the world has trained people to just be so much. It has to work. But if it don't, that's fine.
I felt that way about the music industry. Like, I had to succeed in the music industry before I tried anything else. Like, I did not give myself the permission to be a pluralist. Like,
Where'd that come from?
Self-care, therapy, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I realized I needed more. Like, I needed to give myself permission. And that's a part of being an ally for myself. I needed to say, okay, well, I can appreciate what I've done over here, but what do I want to do next? And once I decided what I wanted to do next, I decided I need to give myself that opportunity. Regardless of, like, I wasn't up on stage at the Grammys, you know what I'm saying, with my artists, or I didn't have record of the year yet, and blah, 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 and so on and so forth. I was able to get one of my producer homies Grammy nominated and things of that nature. So, like, I enjoyed it, but, I wasn't able to buy a Porsche and a condo. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, again, we're trained to feel like we have to stick to we have to die on the hill that we started climbing, as opposed to giving yourself permission to be a pluralist. Because at the end of the day, when I started therapy, I realized more about myself. Like, I realized that in most cases, your skill set is transferable.
Absolutely.
So whatever the 10,000 hours is that you have in this field that you feel like makes you a savant or an expert, and you really want to hold on to that and cherish it and make it precious, like, you have to give yourself permission to all 10,000 of those hours that make you a master are not going to be transferable. Maybe 7,000 of them.
And that will work.
Yeah.
And that's
so you
sufficient.
just have to realize that if I can do that over here, it also applies over here and also applies over here. It can apply over here if I want it. If I want it to apply there, it can. So I just had to give myself permission to be a pluralist and give myself some wings and give myself more room to grow and more altitude to, like, look down and see, oh, Oh! You can see all the roads and where they connect and where they lead when you elevate.
When you elevate, that's the key. So last question, because we right at time. We have 2 minutes. This is for some of my students I know for a fact who want to get in the music industry. Okay, I'm gonna ask this because they're gonna say, "Why you didn't ask? He do music." What advice would you give a Chicago person who thinks that they can move to Atlanta and just pop because they doing their thing with the way the industry is in 2024? What advice, and if you say I ain't in it no more, that's fine, but I'm at least ask you, what advice would you give a musician who's into rapping and stuff like that? What advice you give to him about entering into it present day?
Hey, do it.
Just do it.
Do it. Move here. Like, if the part of the question includes, like, should I move to Atlanta? And because Atlanta, yes, it can happen for you here. I would suggest everyone move here. But the thing about it is, you have to have clearness of, like, conception and depth of design with regards to who you are and what your value proposition is. What are you bringing? We don't need you per se. We want you, but we like.
So that's some mature stuff that you talking. That's mature.
You have to give yourself an opportunity to grow. So yeah, rapping is cool, but you need to realize what's happening here. Film and television is here now.
That's where we at.
We can't do nothing in film and television without music. So you should look at, like, sync licensing. You should look at film scoring. You should look at, like, all things with regards to music publishing, development of talent.
Look at the industry, not just being on stage.
Yeah, because at the end of the day, we don't need another artist. We do need more business people, and we always need creatives.
My man. Appreciate it, bro. Thanks for your time.